Welcome here tonight for the ACOG iRacing Platinum Cup Series. Getting set to go green here just momentarily as the field sets themselves up for race number 7 out of 12. Now just coming to a fifth of the way. I mean, that 3/4 mark is going to mark the time in which we're going to go playoff mode. So points are going to be very, very important here tonight. With a bunch of points, I wouldn't say too many points on the line, but it's still a fair amount here on the racetrack. All these spots are going to count for something, so we'll pull up the standings and see where everybody sits at the moment on the left-hand side of the screen. Looks like we got like 22 drivers here for tonight, so it'll be fun. Alright, so we'll pull up the point standing and see where everybody sits at the moment. It's been a while since we've run an official cup race. We did run an unbroadcasted one from last week that was won by Justin Ataconis at Sonoma. So congratulations to him for that win. But everything else, I mean, straightforward shot. It's going to be Wilkerson and Ataconis. Yes, Spanos, Grindle, Dudai inside this top 5, but everybody from, 10th on down, that's about 40 points. So a big time for all these drivers to go ahead and maybe set themselves up and get some good traction here for these next 57 laps that are about to come up. So we'll have to see on how this will all go, but in the midst of all the chaos, we will go ahead and screw ourselves to the side and play the national anthem. So we'll go over our point scenarios here right after that, but President, move your hats as we salute our nation's colors. Back here live at the Talladega Super Speedway, getting set to go green here just momentarily, as the ACOG iRacing Platinum Cup Series is up and away for qualifying. All these drivers going to work themselves around and log in their fastest on the racetrack. We're still slowly getting more people by the moment, but in the midst of all the chaos, we'll go ahead and pull up these standings and see on how everybody is doing out on track for their qualifying run. Jonathan Notgen in the 221 making his first ever debut. I mean, his first ever ACOG start here tonight, so I'll have to see on how he'll hold his head high, hold himself a good finish here tonight. 24 drivers in total, so 24 points on the line for all these guys and gals to come up away with a fair amount of points. So pretty big in terms of how and who will be walking away with what. So .301 Brad Havrilla. Got Wilkerson up front. Max Molina. That is actually one of the cleanest paint schemes I've ever seen on the next gen. I didn't realize how, you know, how nice the FedEx car looked. He goes onto the apron, shortcut it a slight bit, but it was allowed in ACOG qualifying. It wouldn't be allowed in NASCAR Cup Series qualifying, though. Ataconis. Last week's winner at Sonoma, but this is Justin Johnson running a middle to get himself a go. Carmen Caruso here on the track in the 52, and I think that's a St. John scheme. Yep. Jen logs himself in 6th spot. Avrilla. Here's Molina again. Cody D. Gillis. Making his ACOG debut here tonight. Got a couple of drivers making their first ever ACOG start, which is very exciting to see, of course. Cool to see some new faces on in, but it's not like Friday night in which there was so many new faces. It was hard to keep track of 40 drivers on the racetrack. This is gonna be manageable, so it should be an easier broadcast to follow through on who's running where and who's DNF'd. It should be a great. Honestly, it should be a way better show than what we saw in the Truck Series. Truck Series had a lot of wrecks. You don't want to see a lot of wrecks. So looks like we're gonna scoot ourselves into the race here for tonight. So looks like Wilkerson is gonna pick up where he left off at Daytona. Be one of our. He is going to be starting himself on the pole here for tonight. All 26 drivers will grid themselves here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Congratulations to our pole sitter. Number 43, Jacob Wilkerson. He's leading points, of course. No surprise. He's won 3 races in a row. Only caught up by Ataconis just recently, who's starting alongside of him. We'll see if that number 39 can maybe make a charge and start his own streak here tonight. But field will grid itself up and see the green flag next time by once they roll around here. Off of turn number 4. Weather on the racetrack looking fine and dandy. 78 degrees, humidity at 1%. Track temperature around 90 degrees, but it shouldn't matter since this is a super speedway after all. Wind going east at just approximately 7 miles per hour, so mostly cloudy skies, but that should clear up since we got a clearing in the west. Race analytics. 2.66 miles around this super speedway. Only one configuration unless you want to run it backwards. Three tire sets so far to be handed out in for tonight's race. 57 laps, so a fairly long race, enough to decide a good winner. Here to pull themselves to the end. We'll just have to see on who will, be in that position. In the midst of all that, Wilkerson will lead the field off to the green. And as we mentioned earlier, he comes in here as the points leader as well as the pole sitter, so he's just extending that regular season championship, which has just about been I wouldn't necessarily say handed to him, but he's been like fast in, week out, so. Kilo Hankins here on the racetrack. We'll go over our rookies on the track at the moment. Wilkerson being one of them. He has been absolutely dominant. One of the most prominent rookies I've ever seen in ACOG. Alright, right behind him, Maximus Molina. He's going to be starting in P3. 45. We'll see if he can maybe brew up something and make something happen. Carmen Caruso. Going to be in the 4th spot. Brad Havrilla. E6. Matthew McDonald. Kind of blinking in and out at the moment. Jonathan Notgen. All the way back here, Ethan Moses in the 110. As well as Scott Spanos all the way back in 25th. Total of 25 cars will line the field from start to end. Should be a fair race to get ourselves set for these next gens at the Talladega Super Speedway. Glad you could tune us in here on the ACOG / Maxspeedtv network. As Wilkerson, 43, will lead the field to the charge for the second and the final Super Speedway series. The second and final Super Speedway race of the season. Green flag drops and Wilkerson will lead the charge coming into one. First lap led by Wilkerson. He's getting a handful of the 45 Maximus Molina, but seems as though 26 currently running in 3rd at the moment. We are going to go 4 wide momentarily as the field just goes all over the place. They're going to leave out Dominic out to dry, and that inside line. Oh, car on the wall. That's Williams. Is going to drag in a guy with him. I think that might have been Jonathan in the process, but Williams seems as though he has a meatball flag. He's out of it. It's too early. It's way too early. It's lap 2 of 57, and they're racing like it's no tomorrow, and Unfortunately for Williams, that is not the way you want to end a race. And on top of that, there's no caution too. So we'll see how much damage he's going to have to get repaired. But also who was involved in that was Jonathan, not Jen, who started himself in 8th. Now all these drivers, all the pretty much gonna try to do is get in line and ride it out for the moment. And we've split out at least, I'd say, the top I want to say the top 19. But we've looks like split out from first all the way to cut out the top 13. So 13 drivers in a single file line will lead the field for the moment, as those drivers right behind are trying to do their best to catch up to this main draft. But we're working up a charge here in that second lane. Up on the high side, that's Sir Tajman. Alongside, looks like the 54 of Mark Frimpong. Got the 33 of Justin Johnson in the mix as well. And they'll try to pull themselves to the front. Oh, got a car around! Matthew McDonald. Caution's out. First caution of the night. And it was the 126 of McDonald, the first car to get sideways. Early caution to bring ourselves down to pace car speed. This is a lucky break for Cole Williams to maybe get himself a lap back, but unfortunately that right side looks like it's pretty much destroyed. But sad to see an early caution like that, especially with a being like that. But I mean, McDonald is just blinking so badly. Kind of hard to follow him through with the camera, since Dominic Howe really can't do much. But yeah, Dominic just ended up running over the blinking Matthew McDonald. Cole Williams out of the event. Only lap 2, man. Pit road open this time by. The field will scroll themselves on down for probably to top off on fuel. We got a fair amount of cars who decided to stay themselves out. Easy in and out for everybody here in pit road. Only one driver involved in that incident. Under our first caution of the night. Sure, it's going to be a quick caution for everybody who are still on the lead lap. Cole Williams, not here. After that first lap incident. Pretty sure we'll easily see one to go at the stripe. Stack it up double wide next time by. I mean, of course, this time by. Still 24 cars on the lead lap. Only car, again, involved in an incident was Matthew McDonald. Cole Williams out of the event very, very early after that incident in turn 3 and 4. That was also a good break for Jonathan Nutgen in the 221, who was involved in that incident. He's decided to go onto pit road, get that thing repaired. Now he's back on the racetrack. Here we go, coming to the green. Pace car will scoot itself left. On the hands of your leader, Jacob A. Wilkerson, who will lead the charge to the start-finish line. Hold it up with Maximus and Molina. And that 43 trying to go 2 Speedway wins in a row. After winning Daytona earlier this year in the opener. Field fans out just a slight bit as we push around here for that third spot. Alejandro Montesoca does not want to be a part of that mix, and here comes the outside lane. It forms up big time as Montesoca finally finds a slot and line all the way back in who knows where, but up front, the 39 and 24 have hooked up that outside line. Never minded that. Looks like the 39 is going to try to go to the inside, but look at Wilkerson absolutely blasted by. And now even going higher goes, oh no, we're going to take it 3 wide here. As I think Sir Tajman is going to fight through the middle. Under the 54 Frimpong, they squeeze up 3 wide and leave Frimpong out to dry. But the 24 getting a push here from the 39 on the back. Definitely a more aggressive but tamer. I wouldn't say too overly aggressive, but way more organized than what we saw at Daytona. Big push there. Justin Johnson meets up with Hyder in that second lane. They're going to pull themselves forward. Or at least try to, but they're trying to make that outside line work. Where did Grindle come from? That man crossed the start-finish line in 7th last time. Now he's sitting in 3rd. Eduardo Munoz Jr. in the 8. Was the one that gets huge side draft on him. And the 39 at Atacona, he's decided he's going to elect out of there. He does not want to be a part of this mix. And to the front for the first time tonight, 33, Justin Johnson is going to cut out the 54 Frimpong. Look at the move that the 52 made. Hyder, that was not Hyder, that's actually Carmen Caruso. Slots in front of Sertaj Mon. And they pull themselves forward. Nearly a bumper hook by Sertaj. He is so aggressive. In and out. No matter the track, no matter the car. That 49 is going to be putting it all on the line. And that... nice job at the moment of maintaining that 3rd spot. To get a push from the 24, but... you only do so much. That aggressive racing could only last for so long. And you see Frimpong getting out of line. That just absolutely kills the inside lane. And they go to the back. And Harry Grindles has all of this open real estate on that outside. He's going to take it to the point. Now 3rd on the high side as Sertaj Mon picks up the lead again. Through the middle, right through Havrilla. Hyder has decided, I want to take the race, and he puts it to the front. And that 301 Havrilla goes absolutely nowhere, and the field blasts by him. But he finds a way in line right in front of the 50. Hankins decides to drop out. Hyder's going to get split 3 wide right into the sucker hole. Bye-bye, Hyder. He goes falling all the way back through the field. And he's going to, unfortunately, probably get picked up by the guys right behind him, but my goodness gracious. Hyder goes from, oh! Big contact! Cars in the grass. The 8 of Eduardo is going to save it, keep it straight, and as well as Carmen Caruso. How in the world did Carmen Caruso keep it off the field? I have no idea, but he keeps it green. And then unfortunately for Eduardo Munoz Jr. and Carmen Caruso, they have disconnected themselves from the pack. And we're still seeing some aggressive racing. Oh, Sertaj put the M&M's car into the wall, and he's still trying to put it forward. That's the 00 Miles Nelson, who does have a meatball flag, trying to get it on the pit road. Miles does get it on the pit road, but Sertaj's aggressive racing has crossed off that 00. That is not the way you want to race. And now they go single file. Manchu works himself around the 91 of Kwan. Also had Spanos there in the mix as well, but looks like it's a top 11 pull away. Nelson has decided to use DNF after the event. Now it's all for pushing the Justin Johnson, ever since Sertage's taken the lead, he's decided to, since he's up here, I mean, might as well on the pack down, which is kind of ironic how the way he's raced. Justin Johnson pulls up to the high side. He's going to be met with the 07 at Howe. These guys go absolutely nowhere, though. Wilkerson's worked himself back into, looks like, 4th spot. Kept himself in line for the moment, but the outside line starts to form up. Hyder's going to drop himself up to the high. Never minded that. Frimpong wants to go up there. Justin Johnson says otherwise. He's going to absolutely ram the 49 to get himself up front. What a bump that was by the 33 of Justin Johnson, but it wasn't enough to maybe... It wasn't even enough to maintain status in the lead and to the front. Goes Frimpong, or at least he's trying to bait them into using that outside safer barrier, but it's just not working at the moment. And now Frimpong puts that 24 just about into the outside wall. Goodness gracious, look at the field fan out, and there goes Justin Johnson into the outside wall. Takes out the 24 Hyder in the process. Justin and Hyder avoid major contact, but caution comes out for the 2nd time tonight. And, looks like... Ooh, somebody got bumper grabbed by... Looks like... Oh, Justin ended up getting bumper grabbed by... You'll see the 54 of Frimpong. I cannot believe oh no, it looks like Hankins and Justin both meatball flags, so we've taken 2 out of that somehow. We'll see how much of a meatball flag Hankins does have, but this is the next gen after all. This shouldn't be too much, I don't think, for these 2 drivers. Unless their toe is destroyed, but Justin and Hankins are running inside the top pack at the moment. They did initiate contact. We'll see about this right side on Justin. It seems as though that might be a bit... Yeah, I think that toe is... Well, honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Nor does... Hankins doesn't look as bad either. That should be at least... I'd say at minimum a minute. We'll have to see. Pit road's open though, this time by. Cars coming down in with... It's like 39 laps to go. If we go green from this point forward, these drivers will be able to make it all the way. I mean, these drivers won't be able to make it to the end. See how long of a pit stop Hankins and Justin Johnson have. Those are 2 very big super speedway contenders that are on the lifeline at the moment. And if they both DNF, that'll mean they'll put down 21 drivers on the lead lap. And all those 21 drivers on the lead lap, I mean, from first all the way back to... First all the way back to 23rd. All 23 cars on track right now, 23 lead lap cars, so all these people here on the racetrack still have a chance to win this race. Hankins still trying to repair as much optional as he can. Looks like Justin Johnson is still on pit road as well. Oh, he works himself out, so Justin, I guess he got that right side as repaired as he could. Here comes the leaders on this tri-oval. We'll see if Hankins hits the go button, and indeed he does so. So that meatball flag does get cleared off of his name. Gonna work himself out, so top 5 gonna be Nutgen, Havrilla, Wilkerson. So Nutgen, after being involved in that turn 3 incident with Cole Williams, is going to be leading this thing to the green. Nutgen actually decided to stay himself out on the racetrack. Everybody else did hit pit road, so Miles Nelson reconnects, only 6 laps down, but kind of unfortunate to see that happen. He pulls himself back on the racetrack. First ACOG laps that this 221 is going to be leading. Will lead the field to the charge, entering turn number 1, but up to 301. Up on that high side, that's Havrilla. Trying to push himself forward, but oh, they squeeze in. Nutgen gets split out 3 wide. Oh, they collide! Big hit into the outside wall. Goes the 110. My goodness. Caution comes out, and a big championship contender is involved in that incident. Ethan Moses done for. Looks like 39, I think, was also in it. That is so unfortunate for Moses, who was kind of just slowly sneaking himself on through in the inside, but smashes, absolutely decimates the outside wall. And it seems as though Nutgen, not sure how to call that. You could say it's on the 301 for coming down into Ethan, but not, Havrilla was kind of getting pinched right there, especially. And I don't know if that made contact to push him down into Moses. Hard hit by both of them into the outside wall, though. That Sharpie car is absolutely scuffed. Take another look. Right about there? I don't know if the 301 got loose because the 221 side drafted him. You could get loose getting side drafted. Jen. Looks like it's gonna get lapped, unfortunately. Really sucks for a man who is making a good rookie debut. Nelson back on track, currently 8 laps down. Pace car on in. And Wilkerson. Alongside Molina. Will pull themselves to the charge. See the 221 and work himself back on track. Fielder works themselves by Mr. Tajman and Molina. Both go hand in hand as Wilkerson, great push to the 45, goodness gracious. Three wide, Adaconix gets left out to dry, he goes nowhere. Three cars by themselves toward the back. I think that's with Quan, Kilo, and Spanos, but... Double file up front. Molina leading the charge. It's Wilkerson in second. Cody D. Gillis in third, and that number 26. He's making his ACOG debut here tonight, and that 26 is really putting up a show. And look at how the 43 is just absolutely murdering the field. Oh my gosh. Wilkerson is just such a good pusher. And him and Molina are probably the best tandem you'll ever see. Besides what we saw at Daytona, where we saw Todriff and Wilkerson really work up a bubble. But Sertage, he side drafted that 26 just a slight bit. That's brought him in and precipitated an outside line just momentarily. Dominic Howe, the one who's being pushed. I mean, the one who's pushing that 49 of Sertage. They go to the front, though. And that outside line starts to stack in numbers. Sertage to the front, right in front of Molina. Easy move for that number 49. Just to take it like that. He makes it look so easy. Oh, big push there by the number 70 of Grindle. That 70 pushing that mirrored number of the 07. But Molina is giving some good pushes to Sertage, so now it's Molina to really cook up that inside line forward, but they kind of got stalled out as Howe kind of side drafts that inside line big time, and they slowly start to falter. But Howe takes the lead, drops himself in front of 49 of Sertage, and oh, Sertage, big bump there, and this is going to check up the inside line just a slight bit. All these drivers are doing a fine job, though. I'd expect this to be a way more chaotic race. But now, since we've filtered out the field and the drivers have now gotten a handle of what they're dealing with, now we're seeing consistent moves being made, and Grindle with one right there to pull himself to the front. We got a wreck? Somebody wreck? Oh, Wilkerson. Oh, as well as Eduardo Munoz Jr. He's gonna slide. Oh, he just about. Okay, now the caution comes out. Wow, points leader Wilkerson involved in an incident. That was ESPN-like, how those cameras didn't not catch that. I heard the wrecking, but I did not see the wreck, and looks as though... Ooh, Frimpong. And Wilkerson is done for. Meatball flag on him. Wilkerson, well, I mean, not necessarily done for. But that is huge to see a man with 3 wins in an incident. And it seems as though, off the bumper of Mark Frimpong, 54. And unfortunately for Eduardo, bang, right there. Lock it down, and that's a hard hit. I think Eduardo has to... Not sure why he stopped. Guys, quickly stopped on you. Eduardo stopped on the start-finish line. Not really sure what that's about. But he's currently being displayed 1 lap down. Pit road opens this time by. We'll see how much damage Wilkerson has. I don't expect too many people to hit pit road. As soon as I say that, here comes everybody. Jacob Wilkerson. A lot of right side damage on that machine. I'm still wondering about what the 8th issue is. Eduardo Munoz Jr. Oh, looks like game froze on him. The water falls out. He's frozen game, unfortunately. Jen is going to get the wave around. Put himself back on the lead lap, so at 2:21, looking to move things forward. Wilkerson did get his meatball flag cleared from, of course, repairing damage, but man, that front end just looks absolutely destroyed. Only 3 cars so far have disconnected from the session. Eduardo Munoz is probably going to come back in due to connection issues. He's currently just 3 laps down, unfortunately, but Cole Williams and Ethan Moses, both of them out of the event. Cole getting that right side damage. Early meatball flag off of him. Fortunately for Cole, goes nowhere, and for Munoz, it was connection and game issues. So. Molina, Gillis, McDonald. Round out the top 3. McDonald looks like as though we haven't talked about him. He's fixed that blinking issue and he's ready to go ahead and duel it out here in the racetrack and pull himself forward. We'll have to see how it'll all work for him, but in the midst of all that, pace car is in on the hands of that number 45. Molina, who's lost his drafting partner, that 43. That 43 of Wilkerson. Green flag drops. And Gillis. Molina. Both of these top 2 are teammates. So no surprise to see them really coordinating a good restart. Look at the field right behind, though. As they try to pull away and make a second pack, but here comes the 39 and 24. It's Hyder and Ataconis to sweep by those teammates. What a move there by McDonald. Sweeps right under Ataconis, but can't make a challenge for that lead just yet. Oh, around goes McDonald. And Hankins gets a tap, but McDonald, who is... Oh my gosh, that is so unfortunate. Still trying to get it straight, though. Finally does so. They jammed up, and the man who was blinking, who just got his internet fixed, just gets shunted out of the pack, and he's going to have to catch a caution to make things work out. Can do so, though. There's only one driver, 1 lap down. That's not Jen. Sertage back to the front. Being pushed by the 39. Manchu swings up to the high side. He has the 0-0 there on Nelson there, of Nelson to play with. They go nowhere, though. He's just playing a supporting supporting role for that outside line. Just try to get it going or something. Make it interesting there in that safer barrier, but so far nothing really of make for that 3rd lane. Sertage up front. Ataconis in second spot. Carmen Caruso has been running inside this top 5 most of the night. Haven't really talked too much about him. He qualified himself in 4th. Has been through in and out with the lead pack. But now might be in a bit of trouble as Howell snags onto the rear end at the 24. And if you want a super speedway pusher, you want the 07. Sertage decides not to block that, surprisingly. Oh, he took the 24! Oh my gosh, Hyder toward the inside wall. He's going to be able to save it as he works himself back onto the pack, but goodness. Oh well, I was talking so well about Dominic Howe, and he just kicked the 24 in the balls, and Hyder's not going to be a part of this lead pack anymore. And they start the fan out, and now Justin Johnson's on the apron. He's going to merge himself back up safely. Luckily won't lose any draft of some sort, but that was kind of sketchy. $17 laps to go. Got a 3-car pack right behind of this, in case something happens with, that's Grindle, Hyder, Hankins, and Spanos. All back there, just waiting in the midst. Caruso, big slot in line in front of Quan. Got the 50 of Rowan Gill as well up in here. Xfinity Series winner. And that number 50 at Daytona. He's worked himself into 4th. Looking for his LCDD teammates though. There's no, I think he has Ataconis right behind him though, to maybe support that cast. And he also got Menshew up there. And Menshew is getting a big push for the 39. We'll see if Rowan can pull himself up. We'll get the Logan Cozy drivers up here on that outside line now. Here comes the St. John's machine up to the high side. Menshew wants to split the middle. Does not work out to his favor, so he's going to have to resort to pushing that 52. Carmen Caruso for the moment. Rowan Gill. Oh, now Ataconis is going to pick up where Menshew left off. Push that 52, but that outside line disconnects because of it. With 15 laps to go. It's all the 49, though, at the moment. The man we haven't really talked about so far, who's running in second spot, that's William Schmidt in the number 79. Won the bronze race a few nights ago, actually. On Wednesday, he's looking to maybe go 2 for 4 this weekend. He sneaks up to the high side, looking, but not there necessarily. Gonna come on it, Matthew McDonald and Jonathan Notgen has lap cars here just momentarily, and they're entering turn number 3. The top 3 pull themselves forward. Schmidt is doing a whale of a job of pushing that 49 with Sertage Mon. To the point, but Howe gets side drafted by the 50 of Rowan Gill, who pulls himself up high. We'll see if Rowan can maybe have a bite off of the corner. And here comes the 50. Rowan Gill now to the second car in line. That's Schmidt. He gets side drafted just a slight bit. And now we're side by side for second, so Sertage has a choice to make. Block that outside line or pay the price on the inside. He's paying rent on the inside at the moment because Schmidt is, Schmidt's the landlord. All doing a nice job at the moment. Now Sertage up to the high side. Opens up the door for Schmidt. Schmidt can't nose down under. So Sertage is doing a bit of multitasking, going high, low to bend off the lanes. He's doing a perfect job at the moment. There's no run coming in from right behind. Oh, here comes the pack. Wilkerson will wash up to the high side. Unfortunately, off pace. Of course, kind of uncharacteristic by means of that. And then toward the 10 lap to go mark. Field singles out for the moment. We haven't seen that Dale line. I don't think there's not enough cars to make that, you know, third line work. For everybody to be up there, but at the moment everybody's hugging bottom. Now it's a waiting game. 17 cars, going to be 16 here in a moment as Alejandro gets lapped. It's the waiting game. Not the type of waiting game you want to play. Sertage Mon is a small baby goose in a field full of alligators. When do you want to make a move? How are you going to make that move? Not really sure. Frimpong initiates the push on the high side. He has Ataconis with him. Is that going to be something to form up that outside line? Not for the moment. Nobody's willing to pull out now. Even though it's just the 39 and 54, they're still swinging up that high side. They have a run. Ataconis is putting the pressure on Frimpong to go forward. And the outside line has numbers. Now they swing. Got 5 cars as Frimpong with a head of steam pushes to second. And Sertage is going to pull a block, or at least try to. He gets split out 4 wide as Ataconis into the outside wall. Sertage goes absolutely nowhere. And to the back goes that number 49. Bye-bye, Sertage Mon. Schmidt takes the lead. And Sertage goes from first all the way to the last one in the pack. That position, 11th. And Miles Nelson just absolutely screwed Sertage off of the lead pack. Oh, that is unbelievable. That's unbelievable sabotage by Miles Nelson. Again, flashback earlier, Nelson was involved in the incident where I think Sertage caused the wreck and Nelson was in it, but Nelson has just Nelson has absolutely choking this thing away from Sertage. That is hilarious. And Sertage might have lost the pack because of that. Unbelievable. It's Frimpong on the high side. Sertage. Miles, I mean. Goodness gracious. Four laps to go. And here comes Caruso. Caruso to the high side. Huge push by Molina. And Caruso drops down. Oh my gosh! That outside line starts to stack in numbers. With 2 laps to go, it's Frimpong up front. And here comes Ataconis. Might initiate the third lane right now. Oh, Justin Johnson, even though he's a lab car, he's deciding to keep himself in line. We did get a wreck toward the back, though. That did not bring out a caution. 2 laps to go this time by. And Frimpong drops down in front of Molina. Oh, goes to 26! Oh, that's Cody! This is Cody Gillis! Car keeps straight, though. He's gonna have a meatball flag. Gillis, all F4's off of it. So Molina does not have a teammate. But this time by. It's white flag, 1 lap to go at Dega. And it all comes down to this. 14 cars on the lead lap. Anybody could win it. And here comes the third lane. That's Logan Cozy drivers. Oh, Molina gets turned. Somehow keeps it straight. I cannot believe it. They work down the back, though. Here comes Quan. Oh, we've seen him pull off the Alamo. Before, he pulled it off it yesterday. Came out of nowhere to win the race. Now it's him yet again on the high side. But it's Hal on the bottom. He's getting a push. And Mark Frimpong just absolutely made an atrocious move. Caruso to the front. Here comes Schmidt. Oh my gosh. It's down to a 2-horse race. They both collide. Caruso sideways. He's on the apron. Here comes Justin Johnson. They collide. All three of them. Oh my gosh. Justin Johnson is not going to win this race because he is not on the lead lap. It's Ryan Quan again. What? How? How in the world does this man pull it off? How does he do it? He's won in all 3 vehicles in ACOG. He's won in the Xfinity Series in the Super Speedway season. He's won the truck race on Friday. Now here he is in the Cup car, back in victory lane. Are you kidding me? Replay the wreck again. That really all initiates down here on the backstretch. Or into 3. Frimpong with an atrocious move. It was not going to work, and right up the track goes everybody. And it's now left with Caruso and Schmidt. Caruso absolutely wings himself and, oh my gosh, well, wipes out Schmidt in the process. And I got a feel for Schmidt. Because he had that race won until Caruso said he was coming with him. How Quan escaped that, I have no idea. And Schmidt Goodness gracious. That was one of the messier finishes here in ACOG. We'll pull up full results here in front of your screen. Quan, Schmidt, Menchu, Molina, Hyder round out top 5. Got Mon, Spanos, Grindle, Howell, and Gill at the top 10. Johnson, Frimpong, Ataconis, Caruso, Gillis, Matsuoka, Wilkerson, McDonald, Nutgen, and Hankins, top 20. Nelson, Eduardo, Havrilla, Moses, and Williams round out the top. And rest of the order. Joe's not over yet. We'll drag in the top 3 for interviews here in just a moment. Be right back. Back here live at Talladega Super Speedway. Another hectic finish comes down to a close with yet again Ryan Kwan, Super Speedway ace, coming home victorious here tonight, and we'll drag him into the booth and see what he has to say. But God almighty. Drag him into the booth. Ryan Kwan, your first Cup Series win of the season comes here at Talladega. Kwan, we talked about people pulling off the Alamo. Somehow, you, again, 2 nights in a row, out of nowhere, leading 1 lap. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was an eventful one. I don't know how my luck has been this good the last 2 nights, but certainly something to talk about. Yeah, I mean, a hectic couple laps there, but happy to be the one who won the race.
Yes, sir. I mean, off the white flag, I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge on what's going on in the white flag due to, so many variables being taken place. So try to walk me through it.
Yeah, well, once again, I found myself in a pretty decent position, and I had Frimpong in front of me, and I thought that we were probably going to be able to get something going there, um, but kind of got stacked up and a bit slowed down there. So when he jumped to the bottom, I kind of just thought that that was going to be the end of it all, and then unfortunately they all started to wreck, and when I got caught up in that wreck in turn four, I thought it was over. Top two are driving away from me, but I don't know. I guess 52 thought he could pull off a miracle and take out Schmidt, and unfortunately wreck both of them out. But I guess I just was in the right place at the right time.
Yes, sir. Yet again, and you cross the start finish line in first spot. Man, what is up with you and Super Speedway races? You won an Xfinity race back in the Super Speedway series. You won a truck race yesterday, and here tonight in the Cup car. What pings about you in Talladega?
I don't know. I mean, I've come so close to, having decent runs, maybe even wins in the Cup Series and other series in the past. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just sitting in the back, taking it easy. I found myself in a bad spot a couple of times, just losing the lead draft, but it kept me out of the wrecks, and I think that's really what matters is just being there to finish the race and see all the laps at the end of it all.
Yes, sir. And you round yourself out victorious here tonight. Congratulations, buddy. But before we let you go, I just want to thank you for tonight.
Uh, I guess I could thank Napa, even though it's a fake sponsor. Also want to give a big shout out to Justin Johnson for pushing me despite going a lap down there.
All right, about time for Ryan Kwan. P1, yet again, 2 nights in a row. We'll see if we can pull off the trio coming on Sunday night.
Thank you.
Dragon Schmidt into the booth, who was definitely on the butt end of the stick. I mean, you talk about, looks like, yeah, Schmidt's gone, so that'll be it in terms of interviews here for tonight. Thank you all for watching here on Maxspeedtv. What a race from start to finish. The ending was kind of questionable. But regardless, we've crowned a winner of Ryan Kwan, who comes up victorious here tonight. Thank you all for watching the ACOG iRacing Platinum Cup Series. We will see you tomorrow night.